The cargo ship Dauntless moved quietly through space. Captain Hyunwoo Kim sat in his chair on the bridge, watching the stars pass by on the main screen. He had been flying this route for 3 years now. It was supposed to be safe. The outer rim territories were peaceful, or at least that was what everyone said. Hyunwoo was a tall man with gray hair at his temples. He had served in Earth's military for 20 years before becoming a cargo captain. His face was calm, but his eyes never stopped moving. He always watched for problems. "Captain, we're 2 hours from New Seoul," said Minho Lee from the pilot seat. Minho was young, only 26, with quick hands and faster reflexes. He could fly through an asteroid field blindfolded if needed. "Good, let's keep it smooth," Hyunwoo replied. Behind them, So-min Han worked at her computer station. She was the ship's systems analyst, a woman with sharp eyes and even sharper skills. She could hack into almost anything. Right now, she was checking their route and making sure all systems worked properly. In the engine room below, Jisoo Park stood among the massive machines that powered the ship. She was the chief engineer, and she knew every pipe, wire, and circuit on the Dauntless. Jisoo was short but strong, with oil stains on her uniform that never quite washed out. She loved her engines like they were her children. The ship carried 8 crew members total. Yoona Choi handled security. She was an ex-Marine with muscles and scars to prove it. Daeho Shin ran the medical bay, a quiet man who could fix bones as easily as Jisoo fixed engines. Kwon Ryu managed the cargo hold, knowing exactly where every box and crate belonged. Hana Baek worked communications, speaking 12 languages, and always ready to talk to anyone they met. Today they were carrying experimental mining equipment to the colony. The equipment was valuable, worth millions of credits, but it was also heavy and took up most of their cargo space. "Captain, I'm getting something weird on sensors," So-min said suddenly. Her fingers flew across her keyboard. Hyunwoo sat up straighter. "What kind of weird?" "Energy readings, big ones. About 50,000 kilometers ahead." So-min's face showed concern. "They just appeared out of nowhere." Before Hyunwoo could respond, the main screen flickered. A massive ship appeared in front of them. It was 3 times the size of the Dauntless, covered in weapons and armor. The design was alien, nothing like human ships. "Battle stations," Hyunwoo ordered. Alarms began ringing throughout the ship. Yuna's voice came over the intercom. "Captain, that's a Vrelix Empire warship." "I recognize the design from military briefings. The Vrelix Empire." Hyunwoo felt his stomach tighten. The Vrelix were one of the most powerful military forces in the galaxy. They viewed humans as primitive newcomers who didn't belong in space. There had been tension between Earth and the Empire for years, but never open conflict. "Hail them," Hyunwoo said to Hana. A face appeared on the screen. It was reptilian, with green scales and yellow eyes. The creature wore a military uniform covered in medals and insignia. "I am Commander Threxus of the Vrelix Imperial Navy," the alien said. Its voice was cold and sharp. "You will surrender your ship immediately. All cargo and technology will be confiscated. Your crew will be taken prisoner." Hyunwoo stood up from his chair. "This is Captain Hyunwoo Kim of Earth's merchant fleet. We're on a peaceful cargo run. We have no quarrel with the Vrelix Empire." Threxus's face twisted into something like a smile. "Humans have no right to possess advanced technology. You are children playing with tools you don't understand. Surrender now, or we will disable your ship and take it by force." "We're in neutral space," Hyunwoo said firmly. "You have no authority here." "We have all the authority we need," Threxus replied. The screen went black. "Captain, they're powering weapons," So-min shouted. "Evasive maneuvers," Hyunwoo ordered. Minho's hands moved fast on the controls. The Dauntless turned hard to the left. But the Vrelix ship was faster. A blue beam shot out from the warship and struck the Dauntless directly. The lights went out. Every screen turned black. The hum of the engines died. Emergency red lights flickered on, casting everything in a dark crimson glow. "What happened?" Hyunwoo demanded. Jisoo's voice came through the emergency intercom, powered by backup batteries. "They hit us with an electromagnetic pulse. All main systems are down. Engines are dead. Weapons are offline. Life support is running on emergency power only." Hyunwoo felt anger rising in his chest, but he pushed it down. He needed to think clearly. "How long do we have?" 72 hours before the batteries run out," Jisoo said. "After that, no heat, no oxygen recycling, no power at all." The ship shuddered as something clamped onto the hull. Yuna's voice came through. "They're boarding us. I count 6 boarding tubes attached. Maybe 30 soldiers coming. Everyone to the cargo bay, Hyunwoo ordered. Bring weapons if you have them, move. The crew scrambled through the dark corridors using flashlights. They gathered in the large cargo bay where the mining equipment sat in massive crates. Yuna had already set up a defensive position using cargo containers as cover. Heavy footsteps echoed through the ship. The Vrelic soldiers were coming. The cargo bay door exploded inward. Smoke filled the air. Through it came the Vrelic soldiers, tall reptilian warriors in heavy armor carrying advanced weapons. They moved into the bay confidently, clearly expecting no resistance. Drop your weapons, ordered the lead soldier. Hyunwoo stepped forward, hands raised but not in surrender. You've made a mistake, the soldier laughed. The only mistake is yours, human. Your primitive ship is dead. Your technology is ours. You will suffocate here unless you cooperate. No, Hyunwoo said calmly. The mistake is thinking that disabling our ship means you've won. The Vrelic soldier moved closer, weapon pointed at Hyunwoo's chest. Your ship is trash. You have no power, no weapons, no way to fight or escape. In 3 days, you'll be begging us to save you. Hyunwoo looked around at his crew. Jisoo stood with her arms crossed, already thinking. Soman had her portable computer out, fingers moving. Minho cracked his knuckles. Yuna checked her pistol. Daeho opened his medical bag. Kwan studied the cargo crates. Hana recorded everything on her handheld device. You don't understand humans very well, Hyunwoo said to the soldier. We don't just fix things. We make them better. The soldier laughed again. You have 72 hours. Not enough time to repair anything. We'll be watching from our patrol ship. When you're ready to surrender and beg, call us. Until then, enjoy your coffin. The Vrelic soldiers left, their laughter echoing through the corridors. The boarding tubes detached. Through the cargo bay windows, the crew watched the patrol ship move to a safe distance. It would sit there and watch them die slowly. The cargo bay fell silent. 8 humans stood in the darkness, surrounded by dead machines and empty space. Well, Jisoo said finally, they think we're going to die in 3 days, are we? Asked Daeho quietly. Hyunwoo looked at each of his crew members. These weren't just workers. They were engineers, fighters, thinkers, survivors. They were human. No, he said firmly. We're going to show them what happens when you disable a human ship. We're going to take all this dead metal and broken circuits and turn it into something they've never seen before. Captain, we have no power, Kwan said. No engines. No weapons, how? Hyunwoo pointed at the massive crates of mining equipment. We have the most advanced mining technology Earth ever built sitting right here. Jisoo, can you use it? Jisoo walked over to the nearest crate and put her hand on it. A slow smile spread across her face. Oh yes. Yes, I can. Soman, can you blind their sensors? Soman was already typing. Their monitoring system is pretty basic. I can loop it easily. They'll see what we want them to see. Minho, can you design better engines? I can design engines that will make their ships look like toys, Minho said confidently. Yuna, weapons? Those mining lasers will cut through their armor like butter, Yuna replied. Hyunwoo nodded. We have 72 hours. Let's not waste a single minute. They disabled our ship. He paused and looked at his crew with fire in his eyes. We're going to upgrade it to God mode. The cargo bay became a workshop lit only by emergency lights and flashlights. The crew moved with purpose, each person knowing exactly what needed to be done. They had 72 hours to turn a dead ship into something powerful enough to survive. Jisoo worked fastest. She opened the largest cargo crate with a plasma cutter, revealing the quantum resonance drill inside. It was massive, designed to cut through asteroids and extract valuable minerals. The drill had its own power core, something that generated enormous energy for mining operations. This is beautiful, Jisoo whispered, running her hands over the drill's surface. This power core puts out more energy than our main engines. Can you connect it to the ship? Hyunwoo asked. Jisoo nodded slowly. Yes, but not the normal way. The EMP fried all our control systems. I'll need to bypass everything and wire it directly. She looked up at him. It's going to be messy and I can't promise it won't explode. Better than suffocating, Hyunwoo replied. Jisoo got to work immediately. She pulled panels off the walls, exposing the ship's power conduits. Most of them were burned out, their circuits melted by the electromagnetic pulse, but the main cables were still intact. They were thick as a man's arm, designed to carry massive amounts of power. While Jisoo worked on power, Soman handled the sensors and communications. She sat cross-legged on the floor with her portable computer, several cables running from it to various access ports around the cargo bay. The Vrelics are watching us with a standard monitoring system, she explained to Hyunwoo. It's scanning for heat, movement, and electronic signals. Pretty basic stuff. Can you fool it? Already done, Soman said with a grin. I'm feeding them a loop. They see us sitting here doing nothing, panicking, waiting to die. Meanwhile, we can work without them knowing. How long will it last? As long as we need. Their system is military grade, but it's designed to watch for attacks, not deception. They're not expecting us to do anything clever. While the technical work happened, Yuna organized the cargo bay into a defensive position. She stacked crates to create walls and corridors. If the Vrelics came back, they would find themselves in a maze with humans hiding behind every corner. These mining lasers, Yuna said, examining one of the tools from the cargo. They're designed to cut through rock. What will they do to armor? Quan looked up from where he was cataloging equipment. Those lasers can cut through 3 meters of solid iron in about 10 seconds. I've seen them work on mining stations. Yuna smiled dangerously. Perfect. Taeho moved between crew members, checking on everyone. He gave them stimulant patches to keep them awake and working. He monitored their vital signs and made sure nobody pushed themselves too hard too fast. You need to rest, he told Jisoo after 6 hours of continuous work. Can't, she replied without looking up. I'm almost through. If you collapse, the whole plan fails. Jisoo sighed and accepted a protein bar and a stimulant shot. 30 minutes. Then I'm back to work. Minho worked on navigation and propulsion. Even with power, they would need a way to move the ship. The main engines were slag, completely destroyed by the pulse. But Minho had an idea. The mining equipment uses matter recyclers, he explained to Hyunwoo. They break down rock into atoms and reconstruct it into useful materials. What if we use that same principle for propulsion? I don't understand. We take matter, break it down, and shoot it out the back at nearly light speed. It's basically the same as a rocket, but much more efficient. We could use our own waste, damaged parts, anything. Hyunwoo stared at him. That's insane. Insane is sitting here waiting to die, Minho replied. Do it. Hana worked on what she called their message to the galaxy. She recorded everything on her handheld camera. Every modification, every innovation, every moment of human ingenuity. Why? Yuna asked her. Because when we win, I want the whole galaxy to see how we did it, Hana replied. I want them to know that humans don't give up. We adapt, we overcome, and we do it with style. The hours ticked by. 18 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours. Jisoo worked without stopping except for brief rest breaks that Daeho forced on her. She connected the quantum drill's power core to the ship's main grid. It required running new cables through access tunnels that were barely wide enough for her to crawl through. She worked by flashlight, connecting circuits by hand, testing each connection with a multimeter. It's alive, she finally shouted. The cargo bay lights flickered and then came on fully. Screens around the bay lit up. The hum of power filled the air. The crew cheered. They had electricity, but power was just the beginning. Selman immediately went to work on the ship's computer systems. Most of the AI was dead, its circuits fried. She had to rebuild the operating system from scratch using backup files and her own programming. I'm creating something new, she said excitedly. The old AI was too rigid. This new one, I'm building it to learn and adapt. It'll work with us, not just follow orders, and is that safe? Hyunwoo asked. Safer than dying, Soman replied, her fingers flying across the keyboard. Minho and Quan built the new propulsion system together. They gutted 3 of the matter recyclers and installed them at the rear of the ship. Minho handled the calculations while Quan did the physical installation work. This is going to give us acceleration that should be impossible for a cargo ship, Minho said. We'll be able to turn and move like a fighter. Will the hull survive the stress? Hyunwoo asked. We're about to find out. Yuna converted the mining lasers into weapons. It was surprisingly simple. The lasers already had targeting systems for precision cutting. She just needed to modify them for combat and mount them on rotating platforms. She installed 6 of them around the cargo bay, each one capable of firing in multiple directions. These aren't just weapons, she explained. They're surgical tools. We can disable enemy ships without destroying them, cut their weapons off, slice through their engines, make them helpless. 48 hours passed. The crew was exhausted but energized. They could feel the ship coming back to life around them. It wasn't the same ship anymore. It was something new. something better. Jisoo discovered something amazing about the quantum power core. It didn't just generate energy, it could store unlimited amounts of it. The more power they fed into it, the stronger it became. "This is revolutionary," she said in awe. "This thing could power an entire city. On a ship, it means we basically have infinite energy." "Infinite?" Hyunwoo repeated. "Well, not truly infinite, but so much that we'll never run out. We can fire weapons continuously, run shields at maximum, move at full speed, all at the same time without worrying about running dry." Soman completed the new AI system at hour 52. When she activated it, the computer came online with a soft blue glow. "Hello," said a calm voice from the speakers. "I am Ghost. How may I assist?" The crew stared at the screens. The AI had named itself. "Ghost, run a full system diagnostic," Soman said. "Running diagnostic. All systems operational. Power core at 98% capacity. Weapons online. Propulsion ready. Sensors active. I have also taken the liberty of detecting the Vrelix patrol ship. It is holding position at 15,000 kilometers. Shall I calculate targeting solutions?" Soman laughed. "It's perfect." The cargo bay now looked like something from a science fiction movie. Cables ran everywhere, connecting systems that were never meant to work together. The quantum drill sat in the center like a glowing heart, pulsing with blue energy. Screens showed data in real time. The mining lasers were mounted and ready. The matter recyclers hummed with power. At hour 60, Daeho made a discovery of his own. He had been analyzing the stimulants he'd been giving the crew. By combining certain compounds from the medical supplies, he created something new, a neural enhancement that increased reaction time and mental processing speed. "It's temporary," he warned. "It'll last about 4 hours and then you'll crash hard. But during those 4 hours, you'll think and react 3 times faster than normal. Save it for when we need it most," Hyunwoo said. At hour 70, they were done. The ship was ready. Hyunwoo called everyone together in the cargo bay. 8 tired, dirty, determined humans stood in a circle. "In 2 hours, our 72 hours will be up," he said. "The Vrelix expect us to be dead or begging for mercy. Instead, we're going to show them something they've never seen before. We're going to show them what happens when you make humans angry." "What if it doesn't work?" Daeho asked quietly. "Then we die fighting instead of suffocating," Yuna replied. "I prefer that." "It'll work," Jisoo said confidently. "I've checked everything 3 times. This ship is better than it was before. Much better." Hyunwoo looked at each crew member. "We started with a disabled cargo ship. We're about to see what we've turned it into. Everyone to your stations. Let's light this candle." The crew scattered to their positions. Jisoo went to engineering. Minyo took the pilot seat. Soman sat at the main computer. Yuna manned the weapons. The others took support positions. "Ghost, bring all systems online," Hyunwoo ordered. The ship came to life like a waking dragon. Power surged through every circuit. Screens blazed with light. The engines hummed with barely restrained force. "All systems green," Ghost reported. "Ship is ready." Hyunwoo sat in his captain's chair. He could feel the difference. The ship felt stronger, faster, ready for anything. The Vrelix battlecruiser Fist of Empire dropped out of faster-than-light travel with a flash of purple energy. It was enormous, bristling with weapons and surrounded by smaller escort ships. Commander Threxus had brought overwhelming force, expecting to find either a dead human crew or prisoners ready to surrender. Instead, sensors showed the Dauntless powered up and waiting. "This is impossible," Threxus muttered on the bridge of his cruiser. Their ship was dead. "How do they have power?" "Unknown, Commander," replied his tactical officer. "Our sensors show massive energy readings from the human vessel. Power output is far beyond what a cargo ship should have." Threxus slammed his fist on the armrest of his command chair. "It doesn't matter. We have 50 ships. They have 1 cargo vessel. Open a channel!" The main screen on the Dauntless bridge flickered to show Commander Threxus. The reptilian commander looked even angrier than before. His yellow eyes blazed with fury. "I don't know what trick you humans think you're playing," Threxus hissed. "But it ends now. Surrender immediately or we will destroy you." Captain Hyunwoo stood calmly on his bridge. Behind him, his crew worked at their stations with confidence. They had spent 3 days turning a dead ship into something new. They were ready. "You told us to surrender before," Hyunwoo said. "You disabled our ship. You thought that was the end. But you don't understand humans very well, Commander. When you disable our ship, we don't surrender. We upgrade it. Impossible," Threxus roared. You had no resources, no power, no time. We had ingenuity, Hyunwoo replied. We had determination. And we had something you'll never understand. We refused to give up. He paused. You wanted to confiscate human technology. Let me show you what human technology really looks like. Threxus's face twisted with rage. All ships open fire. Destroy them. The Vrelix fleet unleashed a massive barrage. 50 ships fired their weapons simultaneously. Energy beams and missiles streaked through space toward the Dauntless. It should have been the end. No cargo ship could survive that kind of firepower. Ghost, shields at maximum, Hyunwoo ordered calmly. Shields online, the AI responded. The attacks hit an invisible barrier around the Dauntless. Jisoo's improvised shield generator, built from the magnetic containment fields of the mining equipment, absorbed the energy. The ship didn't even shake. On the Fist of Empire, alarms blared. Commander, their shields are holding. They're absorbing everything we're throwing at them. Threxus stared at his tactical display in disbelief. Impossible. Cargo ships don't have shields that strong. Even our military vessels would be damaged by that attack. Should we fire again, Commander? Yes, all weapons. Continuous fire. The Vrelix fleet kept shooting. Wave after wave of energy struck the Dauntless, and wave after wave the shields held firm. Their shields are at 97%, Salmon reported from her station. Ghost is routing the absorbed energy back into our power core. We're actually getting stronger with every hit. Hyunwoo smiled. Minho, show them what our new engines can do. With pleasure, Captain. Minho's hands moved across his controls. The Dauntless suddenly accelerated forward at a speed that should have been impossible for a cargo ship. It dodged between incoming fire with the grace of a fighter craft. The ship twisted, turned, and spun through space like it was dancing. What is that? Threxus shouted. How is a cargo ship moving like that? They've modified their propulsion system, his science officer reported, voice shaking. I don't understand the readings. They're using some kind of matter recycling technology for thrust. It's genius. I don't care if it's genius. Destroy them. 20 Vrelix fighters launched from the battle cruiser. They were fast, agile combat craft piloted by the Empire's best warriors. They swarmed around the Dauntless like angry insects, firing from all sides. Yuna, you're up, Hyunwoo said. About time, Yuna replied. Her hands moved to the weapon controls. Let's see how they like our mining lasers. 6 points on the Dauntless lit up with brilliant blue-white light. The modified mining lasers fired. They didn't spray wildly like normal ship weapons. These were precision tools designed for surgical cutting. And that's exactly what they did to the Vrelix fighters. One fighter lost its weapons. Both gun pods sliced off cleanly. Another had its engines cut away. A third lost its entire tail section. Within 30 seconds, all 20 fighters were disabled, tumbling through space helplessly. Not destroyed, disabled. Their pilots were alive but helpless. Impossible, Threxus whispered. Those are mining lasers. How did they weaponize them? The humans are full of surprises, Commander, his tactical officer said nervously. Then let's stop being surprised and start being deadly. Bring the battle cruiser about. Full power to forward weapons. We'll blast them out of space ourselves. The Fist of Empire was a massive ship with weapons designed to destroy entire fleets. It rotated ponderously in space, bringing its main cannon to bear. The weapon powered up with a deep thrumming sound that rattled through the hull. This was a ship killer, designed to crack battle stations and obliterate enemy cruisers with a single shot. They're charging their main weapon, Soman warned. That thing could probably destroy a small moon. Let them fire, Hyunwoo said calmly. Captain? Minho looked back in surprise. Trust me. Ghost. Calculate the optimal position to take that hit. Calculating. Position acquired. I recommend we hold steady. Minho's instincts screamed at him to dodge, but he trusted his captain. The Dauntless held position as the Fist of Empire's main cannon reached full charge. Fire, Threxus commanded. A beam of pure energy, thick as a building and bright as a star, shot from the battle cruiser. It crossed the distance in an instant and struck the Dauntless dead center. The impact should have vaporized the cargo ship. Instead, something incredible happened. Jisoo's shield system absorbed the massive energy blast. The shields glowed brilliant white, almost blinding. The quantum power core drank in the energy like a man dying of thirst. Shield integrity at 83%, Ghost reported. Energy absorbed and stored. Power core now at 142% capacity. They overcharged us, Jisoo said from engineering with a laugh. They just gave us more power than we know what to do with. Oh, I know what to do with it, Hyunwoo said. Yuna, return fire. Full power to all weapons. Show them what their own energy looks like coming back at them. Yuna grinned savagely. All 6 mining lasers fired simultaneously, now supercharged with the energy the Vrelics had just given them. The beams crossed the distance and struck the Fist of Empire, but these weren't kill shots. Yuna was too skilled for that. One laser carved through the battlecruiser's main cannon, severing it from the ship. Another disabled the shield generators. A third and fourth took out the engine clusters. The fifth and sixth cut through weapon batteries along the hull. In less than 10 seconds, the most powerful ship in the Vrelics fleet was reduced to a floating hulk. Systems sparked and died. Emergency lights flickered on across the massive vessel. The Fist of Empire was helpless. The bridge of the Vrelics cruiser was chaos. Alarms blared. Smoke filled the air. Officers shouted damage reports, main weapons offline. Shields down. Engines destroyed. We're dead in space. Threxus sat frozen in his command chair, unable to comprehend what had just happened. His unbeatable battlecruiser had been defeated by a cargo ship, a human cargo ship. On the Dauntless, the crew was celebrating. They had done it. They had turned the tables completely. Ghost status of the Vrelics fleet? Hyunwoo asked. The battlecruiser is disabled but intact. Life support functional, all crew alive. The remaining escort ships are holding position. They appear uncertain about what to do. Good. Hana, open a channel to Commander Threxus. The main screen showed the Vrelics commander. He looked smaller now, defeated. His bridge was a disaster behind him. Commander Threxus, Hyunwoo said formally. We could have destroyed your ship. We could have killed your entire crew. But we didn't. Do you know why? Threxus said nothing, just stared with his yellow eyes. Because humans don't attack to destroy. We defend ourselves and we make our point, but we're not monsters. Your crew will live. Your ship can be repaired. But you need to understand something important. Hyunwoo leaned forward. Never underestimate humans. You disabled our ship and thought you'd won. Instead, you gave us the opportunity to show you what we're really capable of. What are you? Threxus asked quietly. We're engineers. Innovators. Survivors. We take broken things and make them better. You gave us a dead ship in 3 days. We turned it into something that defeated your entire fleet. Hyunwoo paused. Now you're going to take a message back to your empire. Tell them that humans are not primitives. We're not children playing with toys. We're worthy of respect. And if anyone else decides to attack us, they'll get the same lesson you just learned. Before Threxus could respond, Soman spoke up urgently. Captain, I'm detecting massive energy signatures. Multiple ships jumping into the system. The main view screen changed to show space around them. Purple flashes appeared as ship after ship materialized. 10, 20, 30. The numbers kept climbing. 50, 70, 100. A full Vrelics armada had arrived. Minho whistled low. That's a lot of ships. Yuna checked her weapons display. We don't have enough ammunition to disable that many. Ghost analysis? Hyunwoo asked. The Vrelics armada spread out in a perfect formation. 103 warships, each one a vessel of destruction, arranged themselves to surround the Dauntless. There was no escape route. No way to run. The humans were trapped in a cage of overwhelming firepower. Admiral Kresh's face filled the main screen. The old Vrelics commander looked confident, almost bored. He had destroyed countless enemies with this same tactic. Your silence tells me you understand your position, Kresh said. You fought well against one battle group. But this is an armada. Surrender now, humans, and I will make your end swift. Captain Hyunwoo stood on his bridge looking at the tactical display. The numbers were impossible. Every calculation said they would lose. Every logical assessment said they should surrender. But humans weren't logical. They were stubborn. Admiral Kresh, Hyunwoo said calmly. You just watched us defeat a battlecruiser and 50 ships. What makes you think more ships will make a difference? Kresh laughed, a sound like rocks grinding together. Because you exhausted yourselves. Your shields are depleted. Your weapons need time to recharge. And you're surrounded. There is nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You're dead already. Maybe, Hyunwoo admitted. Or maybe you're about to learn the same lesson Commander Threxus did. Never underestimate humans. He turned to Soman. Cut the channel. Ghost, bring all systems to maximum readiness. Everyone, this is going to be rough. Captain Deho said from his station. I have those neural enhancement drugs ready. Should we use them now? Yes, everyone takes them. We need every advantage. The crew injected themselves with Deho's special mixture. Almost immediately they felt the effects. Their minds became sharper, faster. Time seemed to slow down slightly. They could see connections and solutions they hadn't noticed before. Jizu, Hyunwoo said, what if we overclock the quantum core? Push it past safe limits? In the engine room, Jisu's enhanced mind raced through calculations. It's dangerous. We could explode. But if it works, we'd have unlimited power. We could fight continuously without ever running out of energy. Do it. Captain, I need to be clear. If I'm wrong about this, we all die in about 3 seconds. If you don't do it, we die anyway, but slower. Jisu grinned. The neural enhancement made her fearless. I love working with you humans. Ghost, help me override the safety limiters. Override protocols engaged, Ghost replied. Warning, quantum core is entering dangerous territory. The ship began to hum with power. Deep in the engine room, the quantum drill's power core started glowing brighter and brighter. Blue light filled the entire space, pulsing like a heartbeat. Power at 150%, Ghost reported. 160. 170. The Vrelix armada finished surrounding them. Admiral Kresh's voice came through the speakers. Last chance, humans. Surrender or die. Fire, Hyunwoo said simply. The armada opened fire. 103 ships unleashed their weapons simultaneously. The amount of firepower was incredible, enough to destroy a small planet. The space around the Dauntless lit up like a star. The shields held. Power at 200%, Ghost announced calmly. Shields absorbing all incoming energy. Converting to additional power. 210%. 220. They're feeding us, someone said with amazement. Every shot they fire makes us stronger. Minho, evasive maneuvers, Hyunwoo ordered. Don't make it easy for them. Minho's enhanced reflexes made him almost superhuman. His hands flew across the controls. The Dauntless began moving through the armada's fire like water flowing through rocks. It dodged, weaved, and danced through space. Some shots missed entirely. Those that hit were absorbed by the shields, making the ship even more powerful. Power at 250%, Ghost said. Quantum core is stable. It appears to thrive on increased energy input. Yuna, target their weapons, Hyunwoo ordered. Don't destroy the ships. Disable them. That's a lot of ships, Captain. Then you better be accurate. Yuna's neural-enhanced mind calculated trajectories faster than any computer. She saw patterns in the enemy formation, weak points in their positioning. Her fingers moved across the weapon controls with impossible speed. The mining lasers fired, but they weren't firing randomly. Each shot was perfectly calculated, perfectly aimed. One beam sliced through 3 ships' weapon batteries in a single pass. Another disabled the engines of 5 destroyers. The lasers moved like surgical instruments, cutting with precision. 15 ships disabled, Soman counted. 25. The Vrelix armada began to panic. This wasn't supposed to happen. 1 ship against an armada should be easy. But the Dauntless moved too fast, fought too well, and seemed to be getting stronger with every second. All ships concentrate fire on that cargo ship, Admiral Kresh commanded. I don't care if you destroy it, just stop it. The armada focused all its firepower on the Dauntless. The amount of energy striking the shields was astronomical. Any normal ship would have been vaporized 1,000 times over. Power at 300%, Ghost announced. We have exceeded safe operating parameters. The quantum core is now operating in theoretical territory. Is it going to explode? Hyunwoo asked, unknown, but it feels stable. If I may offer an observation, Captain, this technology is far more advanced than we initially understood. It appears designed to handle exactly this kind of stress. Then let's keep pushing. Minho, take us through their formation, right through the middle. You want me to fly through an armada that's actively shooting at us? Yes, Minho's grin was wild. Best job ever. The Dauntless accelerated forward, heading straight into the heart of the Vrelix formation. Ships scattered to avoid collision. The cargo ship moved like a fighter, spinning and twisting through narrow gaps between massive warships. All the while, Yuna's lasers kept firing, disabling ship after ship. 40 ships disabled, 50, 60, but something was changing. The continuous combat was teaching the crew new things about their ship. Someone noticed it first. Captain, Ghost is learning. The AI is adapting to combat in real time. It's predicting where the Vrelix will shoot before they fire. Ghost? Hyunwoo asked. Confirmed, Captain. I have analyzed 3,217 attack patterns from the Vrelix fleet. I can now predict their tactics with 94% accuracy. Shall I take over defensive maneuvers? Hyunwoo looked at Minho, the pilot nodded. Let the AI handle defense. I'll focus on offense, do it. Suddenly the Dauntless stopped just dodging attacks. It started avoiding them before they happened. Ghost moved the ship microseconds before the relics fired, putting them in positions where the enemy shots couldn't reach them. It was like the ship could see the future. Jisoo made her own discovery in the engine room. Captain, the quantum core isn't just storing energy. It's learning how to process it more efficiently. Every hit we take, it gets better at converting that energy into usable power. It's evolving. What does that mean? It means we're not at our maximum potential. We're still growing stronger. The battle raged on. The Dauntless moved through the armada like a shark through a school of fish. Every move was perfect. Every shot was precise. The humans fought with a coordination that seemed impossible. 70 ships disabled. 80. Admiral Kresh watched from his command ship in horror. His unbeatable armada was being taken apart by a single cargo vessel. It was impossible. It defied every rule of warfare he knew. What are these humans? He whispered. His tactical officer looked at the battle data with fear. Sir, their ship is adapting. It's learning from every attack. Every shot we fire teaches it how to fight us better. If we don't retreat, they'll disable the entire fleet. Retreat? The Vrelic's empire does not retreat. Then we all die, sir. Kresh stared at his screens. Pride warred with survival instinct. Finally, survival won. All ships fall back. Regroup at the outer system. But falling back wasn't easy when your ships were being systematically disabled. The Armada tried to break off combat, but the Dauntless pursued them relentlessly. Yuna's lasers kept firing, taking out engine after engine. 90 ships disabled. 95, 100. Only 3 ships remained functional, including Admiral Kresh's flagship. They jumped to faster-than-light speed and escaped, leaving behind 100 disabled warships and thousands of shocked Vrelic's warriors. The Dauntless stopped in the middle of the debris field. Around it floated the entire Vrelic's armada. Every ship disabled but intact. Not one had been destroyed. Not one crew member had died. Status? Hyunwoo asked. All systems optimal, Ghost reported. Power core at 327% and stable. Shields at 93%. Weapons fully charged. Crew health is good, though everyone will need rest soon. Damage? 3 scorch marks on the outer hull. That is all. The bridge fell silent. They had just fought and defeated an entire armada, 103 warships, and they had barely been scratched. We did it, Minho said quietly. We actually did it, Yuna started laughing. It was a sound of relief and disbelief mixed together. We disabled their ship. Then we disabled their fleet. Then we disabled their entire armada. Salman pulled up the battle data. Captain, we need to see this. Ghost, show the combat analysis. The main screen displayed a replay of the battle from a tactical perspective. It showed how the Dauntless had moved, how it had learned, how it had adapted. The crew had 6 hours before Admiral Kresh would reach the Vrelic's home system with news of the Armada's defeat. 6 hours before the entire Vrelic's empire would learn what had happened. 6 hours before other galactic powers started making decisions about how to deal with humanity. Captain Hyunwoo knew those decisions could go either way. Some might welcome humans as equals. Others might see them as a threat that needed to be eliminated. We can't rely on fear to protect us, he said to his crew. Right now they're scared, but fear fades. What we need is to be so far ahead that no one even thinks about attacking us. You want to keep upgrading the ship, Jisoo said. It wasn't a question. She already knew. I want to see how far we can go. We started with mining equipment and desperation. Now we have experience, knowledge, and a quantum core operating at levels that shouldn't exist. What else can we achieve? Salman pulled up engineering diagrams on the main screen. Ghost and I have been analyzing the battle data. The quantum core isn't just a power source. It's something more. It responds to intention almost like it's alive. What do you mean? Yuna asked. During combat, when we needed more power, it gave us more power. When we needed shields, it strengthened the shields. It adapted to our needs in real time. Salman looked at Hyunwoo. Captain, I don't think this technology was designed just for mining. I think it was designed to evolve. By who? Minho asked. I don't know. But whoever created it understood something fundamental about how to build adaptive systems. We've barely scratched the surface of what it can do. Jisoo was already down in engineering, running new calculations. If we remove the remaining safety limits, if we let the quantum core operate at full potential, I think we can achieve something revolutionary. How revolutionary? Hyunwoo asked through the intercom. Captain, you know how we can currently be in one place at a time? What if we could be in multiple places simultaneously? There was silence on the bridge. That kind of technology existed only in theoretical physics. You're talking about quantum superposition, Daeho said quietly. That only works with tiny particles, not entire ships. It only worked with tiny particles, Jisoo corrected. Until now. The quantum core operates on principles we don't fully understand, but I think, with the right modifications, we could phase the entire ship into a quantum state. What would that let us do? Hyunwoo asked. Everything. We could dodge attacks before they're fired, because we'd exist in all possible positions until we chose one. We could phase through solid matter. We could potentially even move faster than light without a traditional jump drive. Captain, we wouldn't just be fighting in normal space anymore. We'd be fighting in quantum space. That sounds extremely dangerous, Daeho said. It is, Jisoo admitted. There's a chance we could get stuck in superposition and never resolve back to normal space. We'd exist and not exist at the same time forever. But if it works? Hyunwoo asked. If it works, we become untouchable, unkillable. We transcend the normal rules of reality. The crew looked at each other. They had already achieved the impossible several times. Why not once more? Do it, Hyunwoo said. Everyone, we're going all in. Let's build something that will make the entire galaxy take notice. The next 6 hours were a blur of activity. Every crew member pushed themselves to their absolute limits. Jisoo and Ghost worked together to remove all limiters from the quantum core. They rewired entire sections of the ship, connecting systems in ways that made no sense according to conventional physics, but somehow worked perfectly. Soman created a new version of Ghost, one that could process quantum probability fields. The AI evolved again, becoming something that existed partially outside normal reality. It could calculate infinite possibilities simultaneously and choose the best outcome. Minho redesigned the propulsion system to work with quantum mechanics. Instead of pushing the ship through space, the new system would allow them to simply decide where they wanted to be and collapse their wave function to that location. Yuna upgraded the weapon systems. The mining lasers now didn't just fire energy beams. They fired probability weapons that could hit a target in multiple timelines simultaneously. Quan restructured the ship's hull using the molecular fabricators. The new hull existed in a state of flux, constantly rebuilding and improving itself. It was no longer just metal and circuits. It was a living system. Daeho developed neural implants for the entire crew. These weren't like the temporary enhancements from before. These were permanent connections that would let them interface directly with the ship's quantum systems. Hana set up a communication system that could broadcast across quantum space. They could now send messages that would arrive at their destination at the instant they were sent, regardless of distance. 5 hours passed, then 5.5. The crew worked without stopping, driven by a shared vision of what they could become. 30 minutes left, Somin announced. Status report, Hyunwoo ordered. Each crew member reported in. Engineering ready. Quantum core operating at 400% and stable. Navigation ready. Quantum jump systems online. Weapons ready. Probability targeting locked. Medical ready. Neural implants prepared for installation. Computer systems ready. Ghost version 2.0 active. Hull modifications complete. Ship is now self-repairing and adaptive. Communications ready. Quantum broadcasting available. Cargo systems converted to resource gathering and processing. We can now harvest energy and matter from space itself. Hyunwoo stood up from his chair. Then it's time. Everyone installed the neural implants. Let's see what we can really do. The crew gathered in the medical bay. Daeho quickly installed the implants in each person. It was a simple procedure that took only minutes. When he finished with the last person, he installed his own. The effect was immediate. Suddenly, each crew member could feel the ship around them. They could sense every system, every circuit, every quantum fluctuation. The Dauntless wasn't separate from them anymore. It was an extension of their bodies and minds. This is incredible, Minho breathed. I can feel the engines like they're my own muscles. I can see every possible weapon trajectory, Yuna added. It's like I can see the future. You can, Ghost's voice said, now speaking directly in their minds. We all can now. We exist partially in quantum space. We can perceive probability branches and choose which ones to follow. Captain, Jisoo called out. Admiral Kresh just jumped back into the system, and he didn't come alone. The crew rushed to the bridge. The main screen showed the situation. Admiral Kresh had returned with every ship the Relics Empire could spare, but he hadn't come to fight. Hundreds of ships surrounded them at a safe distance, but these ships weren't in attack formation. Their weapons were powered down. This was a show of force, not an attack. Captain Hyunwoo, Admiral Kresh's voice came through. The old Relics commander looked tired and defeated. I have been ordered by the Emperor himself to witness what you do next. The entire Empire is watching. The entire galaxy is watching. What are you? We're human, Hyunwoo replied simply. And we're about to show you what that really means. Ghost, activate the quantum systems. Full power. Activating. Deep in the ship, the quantum core began to glow with light that wasn't quite light. It pulsed with colors that had no names, wavelengths that didn't exist in normal space. The power level climbed past 400%. 500. 600. Captain, I'm detecting reality distortions around us, Soman said. Space-time is bending in ways it shouldn't. Good, that means it's working. Everyone, hold on. This is going to feel strange. The ship began to phase out of normal reality. To outside observers, the Dauntless started to appear blurry, like it was vibrating at impossible speeds. Then it started to appear in multiple places at once. One moment it was in front of them, the next it was behind them, then beside them, all simultaneously. Inside the ship, the crew experienced something beyond description. They could feel themselves existing in infinite possibilities at once. They were everywhere and nowhere. They were one ship in a billion ships. They existed in the past, present, and future simultaneously. It's working, Jisoo said with awe in her voice. We're in full quantum superposition. We're not just in space anymore. We're in quantum space. Ghost, can we control it? Hyunwoo asked. Yes, Captain. We simply need to decide where and when we want to be. Our quantum state will collapse to that reality. Admiral Kresh's voice came through, filled with fear. What are you doing? You're breaking the laws of physics. No, Hyunwoo replied calmly. We're just following different laws. Watch. The Dauntless suddenly appeared in 3 locations simultaneously. Each version was fully real, fully functional. Then it collapsed back into one ship, appearing instantly on the opposite side of the Relics fleet. Impossible, Kresh whispered. For you, maybe. Minho, let's show them what quantum propulsion looks like. Minho's consciousness merged fully with the ship's navigation systems. He could see every possible path through space and time. He chose one and they were there, covering thousands of kilometers in an instant, then another path and another. The ship moved without moving, existing in multiple locations in sequence so fast it seemed to be everywhere at once. We're not limited by speed anymore, Minho said with wonder. We can go anywhere we can imagine.